Good morning, Jeremy. Oh, wait. It's the evening over there, isn't it? No matter how many times you tell me, I can never remember what time it is over there.
It's the evening, Mom. You got it right. What's up?
I just wanted to thank you for the lovely tea that you sent me. I've always wondered how Japanese teas taste, and it's positively delightful.
I'm glad you like it. That was the first thing that went through my mind when my company told me they were sending me here for a conference. I can finally get Mom the tea that she wanted.
You are such a wonderful boy. So tell me, how's the conference going?
It's going great. I won't bore you with insider jargon, but I've learned a ton over here that I'll definitely be able to put to use when I get back.
And you'll be home in 2 weeks, yes?
That's right. The conference is going on all this week, and next week we'll be doing some workshops with other international firms.
I'm glad to hear you're enjoying yourself, but I wish you were coming home sooner. Your wife is pregnant after all. It must be terrible for her to be at home all by her lonesome while her husband is on the opposite side of the planet. Can't you come home any earlier to be with her?
Trust me, Mom, I'd give anything to be with her right now. If it weren't for her being pregnant, I had half a mind to bring her along with me. But it's work. I think she understands. Anyway, how is Mindy doing right now? You're at our house, aren't you? I thought you said you were going to come by and visit today.
Mindy's the same as ever. She's still feeling terribly ill, apparently. She woke up earlier this morning, went to the bathroom, and went straight back to bed. She's been there ever since. I was just about to do a little bit of cleaning for her and be on my way. I bet it will be much easier for her to rest without her mother-in-law in the house.
Wow, so the morning sickness is still hitting her pretty hard, huh? I messaged her earlier to ask how she was feeling, and she just responded with one word: awful. Do you know if she's eaten anything today? I know she was so sick yesterday that she couldn't keep anything down at all.
As far as I'm aware, she hasn't eaten anything today either. I've been doing my best to make foods that agree with her, but I'm going easy on the spices and focusing mostly on organic vegetables and easy-to-digest meals. But it looks like she hasn't touched what I brought her yesterday. Whatever am I going to do with her? It's been 3 months now. When is this morning sickness going to stop?
Hopefully soon, but no one can say for sure. Her doctor told her that there are some women who keep dealing with morning sickness right up until the birth.
Up until the birth? I've never heard of such a thing. I never dealt with much morning sickness at all, and all of my friends got over theirs within a few months.
Wow, really? Huh, that's a little concerning to hear. I wish there was something I could do for her. Being on the literal opposite side of the globe from my sick wife really sucks.
Then do whatever you can for her. Right now, with you out of the country, that might just mean being there to listen to her. What she needs the most from you right now is likely just a listening ear. You'll be back in a few weeks, and once you get home, you can make up for the time you've been away from her. I had better not hear that she's washed even a single dish while you're around to do it for her.
Trust me, Mom, I plan to do just that.
In the meantime, however, I wish I could find something that she could eat without issue. Lately, about the only things she's been able to keep down are fruit juice and plain slices of toast. That's nothing but a load of carbohydrates. She needs to get much better nutrition than that. She's not just feeding herself. She's got to provide proper nourishment to the baby as well.
But still, what good is it for her to shove food down her throat when it's just gonna come right back up anyway? It's not gonna stay inside her stomach long enough for any of the food to get digested.
Well, she's got to figure something out. You would be shocked to see how much weight she's lost since you've been away. It seems like every time I come to see her, she's gotten skinnier. But her belly should only be getting bigger at this point. If this keeps going, she runs a risk of doing some serious damage to the baby's health.
Yeah, I understand that, and I'm definitely worried about both her and the baby, just as much as you are. But from what her doctor says, at this point it's fine for her to just eat whatever she's able to eat. Right now that's fruit juice and toast. I don't know, it might be a lot of carbs, but there's plenty of good vitamins and minerals in fruit juice, right? Plus, they're giving her an IV drip whenever she goes in for a checkup, so I think we can be confident that they're taking care of her. She'll be fine, we just need to keep an eye on her is all.
An IV? That nonsense isn't going to keep her well nourished. She needs to eat. And let me tell you something, Jeremy. You don't understand the first thing about a pregnant woman's body. You're a man. I, however, am a woman who's given birth before, and that's precisely why I'm so concerned about her. So I don't want to hear any flippant, she'll be fine talk coming out of you, young man.
Mom, I'm almost 30. You can stop calling me young man. And I totally get what you're saying about me not having any personal experience with it, but most of what I'm saying is coming straight from Mindy's mouth.
She's no expert either. This is her first pregnancy. This is something that you can only come to understand once you've done it yourself. That's why I tell her to take what those silly doctors are telling her with a grain of salt. She needs to eat, Jeremy. That's the only way for her to have a healthy baby.
I totally get it and appreciate your concern, but I want you to understand that Mindy is doing her best, Mom. So please don't be too hard on her about eating, okay? She'll eat what she can when she can. I'm sure there are a lot of things that you know better than the doctors, too. So I'd really appreciate it if you would answer any questions or concerns she might have about pregnancy stuff.
Pregnancy stuff?
You get what I mean.
Don't worry. I'll tell her everything she needs to know about all of that pregnancy stuff. Those doctors and their fancy diplomas don't have anything on the good old-fashioned first-hand experience of a mother.
Thanks, Mom. I can't tell you enough how grateful I am that you're there for Mindy. Oh, and by the way, if you wouldn't mind terribly, could you share some of that tea with Mindy? It might be a nice break from all the fruit juice to have a relaxing cup of tea. You might want to let her smell the tea bags first, though. I'd hate for you to make a cup of tea that she can't drink.
That's a delightful idea. I'll do that the next time I'm over. She's sleeping now, though, so I feel like I shouldn't wake her up.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Thanks again, Mom. You're a real lifesaver. Hey, Mindy, Mom tells me that you've been able to keep more food down lately. That's great to hear.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago that all I could eat in a meal was a slice of toast. Now I'm able to eat 2 slices of toast, and sometimes even put a little jam on it. So I've gone from eating nothing but a little bit of carbs to a bit more carbs. Isn't that wonderful?
Hey, don't be too hard on yourself. Like the doc said, whatever you're able to eat is fine.
Yeah, I know that's what he said. But I mean, is it really okay for me to keep eating like this?
Well, I don't know if this means much coming from me, seeing as I'm neither a doctor nor a mother. But if you try and force yourself to eat something that's too much for you, it's all just gonna come right back out, isn't it? In my admittedly non-expert opinion, it seems like constantly throwing up is worse for the body than keeping food down with suboptimal nutrition. So yeah, don't think too much about it. All that's gonna do is cause you a lot of stress, and you've already got plenty of that.
Thanks, Jeremy. I'm sorry. I think all the morning sickness is messing with my emotions. I miss you so much.
I miss you too, and don't worry, I'll be home in a week. Tell me, is there anything else bothering you besides the morning sickness?
I guess I just kind of feel bad for your mom.
Oh, did something happen between you two?
No, it's not that something happened. It's just that she's been coming over here almost every day since you've been away, and she always brings me some food that she cooked especially for me. But I keep telling her that she doesn't need to do that since I can't eat anything. All that food's gonna go to waste. Not to mention the time she spends preparing it. But it doesn't seem like she's getting the message.
You know, she said she was trying to adjust her cooking so you could eat it. Do you want me to talk to her for you?
Yeah, kinda. But at the same time, I feel really bad about it. My parents passed away while I was a baby, so I never really knew what it was like to have a mother or a father. And that's why it's been so nice to have your mom being so kind to me. It really sucks having to tell her no every time. So yeah, I would appreciate it if you could tell her for me.
Okay, I'll tell her the next chance I get then.
I'll do my best to stay healthy though. I've got to make sure this baby grows as big and as strong as possible.
You're already doing more than enough, Mindy. Don't push yourself, okay?
Don't worry, I won't. Uh-oh, my stomach's feeling funny again. Gotta go.
Oh, geez, not again. I'm sorry I can't do more for you from over here. Once I get back, I'm gonna wait on you hand and foot, you hear me?
I'm gonna hold you to that promise. I love you, Jeremy. Have fun in your boring conferences.
I love you too. Have fun hugging the toilet.
Jeremy, are you there? We need to talk. It's urgent.
Yeah, I'm here. What is it? Is something wrong with Mindy?
Are you sitting down?
Mom, you're scaring me now. Just tell me what's going on.
Mindy is gone, dear.
Gone? What do you mean gone?
I mean, she's no longer with us, Jeremy. She's gone.
No, that's impossible.
I know it must be hard to believe, but I saw it with my own eyes.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Jeremy, Mindy took her own life.
What? No. No way! She would never do that! Never! Not my Mindy. God, no, not my Mindy. What the hell happened? You saw her take her own life?
Mindy was feeling down, so I offered to take her for a drive along the seashore. You know, that road that runs along a cliff above the water. She told me she wanted to get out for a moment and stretch her legs, so I pulled into a parking area. And before I could do or say anything, she ran over to the side of the cliff and jumped.
What? Why didn't you stop her? You could have grabbed her, done something.
I told you, Jeremy. It all happened too fast for me to react. When she jumped, I was so shocked that I couldn't even move. When I came to my senses and went back to my car to call the police, I found a letter from her in the back seat. She wrote that the pregnancy was too much for her to bear and that she couldn't take it anymore.
You're lying!
I'm not lying, Jeremy.
I don't believe you! It's not true!
I am so sorry. I couldn't stop her.
That doesn't make any sense. I don't believe any of it. You're wrong!
Jeremy, I watched the water below for several minutes to see if she would come back up, but she never did.
But you didn't see her body, right? That means there's still a chance she's alive.
I told you, I already contacted the police. Then shortly after and told me that there was virtually no chance that she had survived.
I'm getting on the first plane back home.
I understand. Let me know when you book your flight home. I'll come to pick you up at the airport.
Mindy, why? I don't understand. Why didn't you tell me you were suffering so much? God damn it, why am I even bothering to text you? I need to accept reality. You're never coming back.
Jeremy, help me.
Mindy, you're alive?
For now, yeah. But someone's got to pull me up off of this ledge. The waves are starting to get higher.
But I don't understand. My mom said that you jumped off of a cliff right in front of her.
No, she pushed me off of that cliff, and I landed on a ledge about 10 feet below the road.
Wait, she pushed you? Why?
We can talk about that later, but the short version is I think she's always secretly hated me.
Oh my God! Then how did you survive? She said she watched, but you never came out of the water.
She didn't even wait to make sure I hit the water. I heard her drive away just a few seconds after she pushed me. I guess she didn't know about that ledge, but thank God. I landed pretty hard on my butt, but I think I'm okay. I could probably stand up if I tried, but this ledge is so narrow that I don't want to risk standing up.
Thank God, indeed. I'm so glad you're okay. And the baby? Is the baby all right?
My stomach feels fine, so I'm pretty sure the baby is okay. But I still want to get checked out at the hospital as soon as somebody comes by to pull me up off this freaking ledge.
I can't call them from over here. I'm out of the country. Can't you dial 911?
Oh yeah, I can. Sorry, I was so shocked by everything that happened I kind of blanked out. All I was thinking about was you and our baby.
Okay, we'll call the police right away. I guess Mom didn't actually call them. What the hell is going on? But that conversation can wait. God, I'm so glad you're okay, Mindy. I'm boarding my plane home in just a few hours.
You got a ticket already.
I bought one the second my mom told me you had died. Mindy, this is very important. When you talk to the police, tell them not to contact my mom under any circumstances. I don't want Mom finding out you're alive until after I get back. Let me know what hospital you get taken to. I'll head straight there as soon as my plane lands.
Okay, I'll do that. I'm gonna call the police now. I love you, Jeremy. Hurry home.
Jeremy, what's going on? Is everything all right? I've been trying to get a hold of you since yesterday, but I haven't heard a peep out of you. Please, Jeremy, tell me you haven't done anything so foolish as to follow in Mindy's footsteps. I already lost my daughter-in-law. I can't lose you, too. Send me a message and let me know you're all right.
Hey, Mom. Sorry to worry you. I'm back in the country now.
Jeremy, thank goodness. What's the matter with you going radio silent on me like that? I told you to message me once you booked your ticket.
Yeah, my bad. Tell me, Mom, how did you feel about Mindy?
What sort of a question is that?
Just answer me, okay? I need to know.
Well, I suppose she did fairly well for herself considering her circumstances. Being raised in an orphanage certainly isn't the best way for a child to get their start in life. But despite that, she was able to get married to someone with a proper upbringing like yourself. I'd say she should have been perfectly satisfied with her life based on that fact alone. It's a terrible shame things turned out this way.
I don't know what it is, but something kind of pisses me off about the way you said that. What does her being raised in an orphanage have to do with anything?
Isn't it obvious? How can a child develop normally without their own parents? Children need the love of their parents. Without it, they'll always be lacking something, like a jigsaw puzzle that's missing a few pieces.
I don't feel like Mindy is missing any pieces. She's the kindest, sweetest, gentlest person I know. I'd say her time in the orphanage actually made her a much stronger person. I'm lucky to have a wife like her.
What are you saying, Jeremy? You could have done much better than her. You've always been an intelligent and hardworking boy. You got straight A's in school and you even excelled in sports. Now you graduated from a prestigious university and are earning a salary that would make anyone jealous.
Wow. I had no idea you hated Mindy so much.
It's not that I hated her. I simply wish that you had made a better choice in a wife, that's all.
And that's why you pushed her off that cliff?
Jeremy, how could you make such an accusation of me? Oh no, you're still having trouble accepting reality, aren't you? You need me to be the villain in order to cope with the emotional pain of losing your wife.
No, it's because you are the villain. You pushed her.
I did no such thing. Please, dear, I already feel guilty enough as it is. I'm the one who offered to take her on a drive that fateful night. But Mindy's death is not my responsibility.
Mindy didn't die, Mom.
What?
She's alive.
She is.
Yes, she is, and she told me that you're the one who pushed her.
But that's not true. She must have hit her head on the way down or something. And is she really alive? I don't understand. That's impossible. Those cliffs were much too high. The current was much too strong. There's no way she could have made it out of there alive.
Yeah, I'll bet you thought you had everything planned out perfectly, didn't you? You deliberately took her there because you were completely sure she wouldn't survive.
I didn't push her, Jeremy. Stop these ridiculous accusations immediately.
You're not getting out of this, Mom. I snuck into your house last night to get my car keys. While I was there, I decided to take a look at the footage from the dashboard camera in your car. You should have parked your car facing away from the cliff. I saw the whole thing.
Jeremy, you don't understand.
I understand everything. You hated Mindy so much that you tried to murder her. I can't believe you were this much of a monster. It makes me sick to think about the way you pretended to be shocked and tried to comfort me on the night you claimed she died. You make me sick.
You're wrong about her, Jeremy. She's not the kind of woman you think she is. But I saw right through her the entire time. I knew that someday she would stab you in the back, and I was not going to let that happen.
So you stabbed her in the back? Pushing her off the cliff wasn't your first attempt at killing her either, was it?
What are you talking about?
You sure were persistent in bringing more and more food to Mindy, weren't you? Even after I told you that you don't need to do that anymore.
I was concerned for her health and my grandchild's health. Is that a crime?
Oh, you were concerned for their health? I went ahead and took a look at some of the food you brought her recently. Like those sandwiches you made for her, they looked good enough on the outside, but on the inside the bread was all moldy and the cheese was rotten. You were intentionally trying to feed her spoiled food to kill her.
Nonsense. The food was in perfect condition when I brought it to her. It must have gone bad in the fridge.
I'm not gonna believe any of your lies ever again, Mom. I don't ever want to see your face again. Although considering you're probably going to prison for the rest of your life, I don't have to worry about that, do I?
What? Prison? I'm going to prison?
What did you think was gonna happen when you tried to murder my wife? We already told the police everything.
Why did you go to the police? I am your mother, Jeremy. Do you want me to go to prison? You want to make your mother a common criminal?
You already are a criminal. You tried to murder my wife and baby, and you're gonna pay for that.
I did it for you, Jeremy. I didn't want you to be tied down to that awful orphan girl.
That's not your decision to make. She's my wife and I love her more than anyone, and that includes you.
This can't be happening to me. I can't go to prison. I'll never make it out. I'll end up dying alone in a cold, dark cell. Please, Jeremy, don't do this.
I'm not doing anything to you. You've done this to yourself. You tried to murder my family. If not for that ledge, you would have succeeded. If it were my choice, I'd tell the court to have you pushed off the very same cliff you tried to push Mindy off of. So be glad I'm settling for only having you rot in a prison cell for the rest of your days. The police pulled up to my mom's house just a few minutes after I sent that last text to her. She was arrested, charged with kidnapping, attempted murder, and a litany of other crimes, and convicted on all counts. I don't think she'll ever see the outside of prison ever again, but I've already applied for a permanent restraining order against her just in case. She won't get any letters from me, and I will never go to visit her in prison. Even if she somehow comes to see the error of her ways, I won't have anything to do with her. Not after what she's done. Obviously, the story of my wife's attempted murder and miraculous survival was all over the local news. Journalists started swarming our house asking for an interview, but all we wanted was peace and quiet to recover from the ordeal. So, I applied for approval to work remotely with my company, which was granted, and we moved out of the city to a quiet place in the countryside. A few months later, Mindy and I welcomed our baby into the world, safe and sound. Words can't express how relieved I am that both Mindy and the baby were fine. The ledge that Mindy landed on was only a few yards wide. If she had fallen just a few feet in any direction, no, I'll stop there. I don't even want to think about it. Everything we've gone through has truly taught me the value of family. From now on, I want to give my all for Mindy and our baby, and never, not even for 1 second, take either of them for granted.